Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Yes, sir. All right, let me go ahead and do this last little bit. Get everything I need to get going with everything I need to get got. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it going. Let's get it rocking. What the heck? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Why is this doing it to me? Why you gotta do this to me? Why do you gotta see? Bro, it's so difficult trying to get everything together. It's like, bro, I'm just trying to stream. I ain't trying to hurt nobody. I ain't trying, what? Enter the code from, bro. Bro, this joint is nutty. It's taking a toll on me. Like no bet, it's taking a toll. I need it. All right, let's go to. Yeah. All right, come on. Let's go like that. We got that. You know what I'm saying? We about to get everybody going, get going. We trying, we active, we live, we live, we here. We got what we got, you know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. All right. All right. So, welcome to Hot Take Tuesday. Um yeah, welcome to Hot Take Tuesday. I forget what was this one? Oh yeah, let's look at some hot takes today. Let's look at some work hot takes cuz people be having real different ideas about what is acceptable at work and what's not acceptable at work. Or like I say what's acceptable, but what be popping off and what they be like, oh yeah, you snapping. You was drawing at work. Like you was the problem at work. So we gonna see we gonna see what's bumming out. We gonna see what's happening. Hot take Tuesday. Let's see. You know what I'm saying? Okay. All right. We getting going with something. All right. We getting going with something. All right. Let's go. Hot take work. All right. Let's just go to our hot take. All right. Oh wait, hold on. Let me see. Hot take work life. Let's see something pop up. Hot take. Job hopping is dead. Long live job hopping. What? There's been an issue. I'm not gonna lie to you. Now, personally, it depends on what you talking about as job hopping. Because low key, if we're talking about like truly job hopping, you should job hop. I think that. All right, so I think that you should low key job hop up until a certain age, or to a certain profession, until you reach a certain point. Um, Here's why. So one, it gives you different experiences if you job hop after like to a certain degree. Like I ain't saying like you're a CEO. Shout out to the shout out to Coldplay. um, but if you're like a CEO, no, I wouldn't say job hop. But if you're like a normal employee, like if you working at McDonald's, job hop. If you working at like Wendy's or McD, like if you're working at a casual job, job hop. And the reason why I say that is because at that point in time in your work career or life or whatever this and that, the staff really matters. It does. And as jobs kind of change, so does the rest of the staff. Like in certain jobs, staff don't stay the same for like 2, 3 years. Unless you got it good with a manager or something higher, I would say job hop because it gives you different experiences for different parts of life. And what I mean is that you learn different tricks of the trade. So you'll learn different things at like Target, like oh my god, I didn't know this type of product or this type of things, or like how to fold a clothes, or like do those little stuff like that. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, I was a serial job hopper when I was younger. Like I learned how to fold clothes, which I'm not really great at, but at a shoe store. I worked at a sneaker store. I worked at Finish Line. So I learned how to fold clothes. I learned a little bit about shoes, what goes on the ins and out in a shoe store that I really wouldn't have worked if I didn't work there for about a month or so. But even when I job hopped, I went to a different job and it was a serving job, and I learned different things there that can be applied to my life. Now, I'm not saying if you are in a corporate job where it's like you are the number one accountant or you're an accountant and all that stuff, that job hop, no, because you got your career, you need to build. And the only thing that I would say for you to job hop, which isn't really job hopping, is to go on different interviews. And not say go on different interviews for the purpose to get a different job, but to know your market so that you can come back to your job and say, I want to raise because of this. So I won't say that you should job hop unless you have a job. If you have a career, that's a little bit different. Use the opportunity of different jobs as a way to kind of thrust your income and stay with that company if they're a good company or good people to you. Um, but don't be scared to look to see what's out there. Never be scared, you know. Go big or go home. You know, get out there. Get your bag, boo boo. Get your bag, boo boo. Like, get your bag, boo boo. Like, come on, what we talking about? Because at the end of the day, like the way that everything is kind of set up in this economy, which is so crazy, is you get more money when you start a new job. And I'm saying that because like the people that been there for however long, they get these little 3% raises, 2% raises, da 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 da. And after or after the way that COVID hit everything, it really hasn't raised to new employee money. Like somebody could have been here for I don't know 10 years, 5 years, and they making $1.50 more than me. They making $2 more than me. Be for real, bro. That's not worth your time. Like, there's no way that I should be making around the same amount of money if you've been here for that long. So if it's a job, yeah, job hard, bro. Get the best bag. Well, let me not say that. Don't get the best bag. Get the best bag with the best comfortability. Get the job that really is like it's not too crazy of a work environment, but it pay you a good amount for you to be comfortable outside of work. You know what I'm saying? So that's what my recommendation. But job hopping is never gonna be dead. You're my job hopping will never be dead. Your thoughts on hot work? What does that mean? What's your hot take or unpopular opinion when it comes to dating? All right, well, no, we're not gonna do that. Uh, utility that's me tying. All right, so I don't know. I'm trying to find some hot topics for like work. Um, when do y'all stop taking y'all hot take? Hot take. If you are financially struggling as a PA, what is a PA? Let's see what a PA is for real. What is it? Physician associate. But if you don't feel rich on the PSL, you have a lifestyle creep problem. That's not to say shit has gotten more expensive, but you can just ball out thoughtlessly on whatever you want. But if you can't make a PA salary work on a solo income, you need to change. Even if you're in a lower paid area, we make more money than 80% of the cover. I want to know what a PA is. Hold on, let me see what a PA. What is a PA? What is a PA? Like what is a PA job? I guess physician assistant. All right, so physician assistant. All right, so physician. So they practice under medicine. All right, that's not bad. But all right, so how much do they make? What is the salary of a physician assistant? All right, what's the salary of that, John? Be for real. Be fucking for real. Be fucking for real. Bro, that's not a hot take. That's a true take. Be for real. Be fucking for real. Cause what? First of all, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show. All right. Can you even see it? All right, whatever. It says the median, the median salary for a physician in the United States is $130,000 and $20. It just kind of went. I don't know what the $20 is for, but whatever. And then it says entry level position starts around $100,000. Yeah, bro. No cap. That's not a hot take. That's just a regular take. Like people. And this is one thing where I'll say that like I've noticed from America and that I don't get is how we are so rich and broke at the same time. Like really we really will live paycheck to paycheck when we make more than people are supposed like if you're living pay and this is not a shot or a shade because these people make more than me currently, and I'm saying currently because I'm manifesting I'm gonna make more than them at some point. But if you're making six figures, $100,000 a year, there's no reason why you should be living paycheck to paycheck. Like all right, let me not say that. Given certain circumstances, like crazy circumstances where it's like you gotta take care of your mom that's dying of cancer. All right. You have to take care of four kids, or one of your kids has like a disability where the government doesn't help because you make a certain amount of money. All right. Or you have, I would say, three or more kids because you make too much to actually make government assistance, basically. Um, but $100,000, if you have two kids, you shouldn't be living pay two kids. It's gonna be tight. I'm not gonna say you balling. You balling with six figures. But if you have two kids, no, you shouldn't. And then if you also do have two kids and a spouse that does work on her own or work on his own, no, you shouldn't be living paycheck. That's a you problem. That's a I don't know how to spend money or save money type of problem. That's a I don't know how to invest and recreate money problem. Like that's not a I need more money problem. That's a I need to learn how to use my money problem. And this is why I said America, we be broke and rich at the same time. Because what are we doing? Like because and this is going off on a random tangent, but like if you making $100,000 a year, granted, let's put probably like 30% of that John, 25 to 30% of that going for taxes. So you're saying so now you got $70,000 a year. All right. If you're smart, you know how to get those taxes to where you get most of that taxes back to where if that of that 100 you're getting or of that 30,000 that they took you're getting maybe 5 to 15,000 back at least if you know what you're doing and you know how to go about that. And it's not that hard, it's not that difficult, it's all right, I'm going to put this money in this type of account, or I'm going to donate this, or I'm going to donate old clothes that I don't really use, or I'm going to donate this type of stuff, use it as a tax write off. It's little stuff. I'm gonna write the miles off for my school for me driving to work. Um, like it ain't too difficult. If you just learn the system, but that's where it comes into learning the system. Um, but making $70,000 a year, so that means it's roughly you're making over 5 grand a month. Roughly making over 5 grand a month. That is enough. That is enough to take care of one person for real, for real. Now, like I said, when it starts to get two or more kids, that's where it gets a little tricky because anybody that don't got kids, I think everybody does at this point, or not that everybody does, but like everybody kind of knows at least a little bit when it comes to kids, is that daycare is expensive. So daycare alone can run you a band or two for just two kids if you don't apply to some type of financial aid. So that's why I said more than two kids, it starts to get a little, starts to get a little tricky. starts to get a little iffy. But that's where it comes with the taxes. You get those tax deductibles. You get that 30 of that 30,000. You get it back a little bit because you use the tax deduction of all the stuff you gave to the kids. So you getting that money for you may not get that 5 grand may seem small for each month, but at the end of the year you're getting a bag because you knew what you were doing with that. And like I said, without that second spouse, you never know. So, no. If you're making 6 figures, bro, you gotta chill. Like you gotta know. Like I'm actually curious. I'm gonna look it up because I'm just on a look up spree. Um, what percentage? What percent? What percentage? Spent to I can't even spell. Are you in making 100K? What percentile? Percentile. See, I'm dumb. You're in the 75 percentile. Okay, so exactly. You make more than 75% of the people in this world. You're not broke. You're not broke and you shouldn't be living paycheck to paycheck if you're making more than 75% of the world. It's not a thing. That shouldn't be a thing because you're just being wild with the bread. You got to be better with the money. You got to take a little bit more time and in consideration with what you're doing. Um, but whatever. Hot take: dating isn't as bad as this. Okay. Because if you over. All right, so this is a good one. Nobody cares if you overwork yourself until hitting a burnout. Keep a good work life slash balance is your own responsibility. Yeah, that is a very big fact. I'm not gonna lie to you. Don't nobody care if you working hard. Don't nobody care what you doing for real, for real. Like at all. Like nobody cares what you're doing as long as it don't affect them. Don't nobody care what you're doing. When it starts to affect other people, that's when people start to care. Like, oh my God, what is he's doing this, he's doing that. That's when people start to care. And when you burn out, that's when people start to be like, all right, bro, you drawing because now you're in the hospital for a heart attack. Now you have an issue. Now, like you're fainting at work. Now we got to get the emergency number out that we never thought that we would have to use. Like the one that every job takes, but I never have seen somebody actually use it. That one, they're gonna have to go through that dusty, the blow the dust off the binder and find the number and make that call because you done passed out at work from overworking yourself. Like nah, like I don't. And this is not just for LPT, whatever career that is. Oh, life pro tips. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. I'm really dumb. But no, nobody really cares until that happens. And when that happens, it's not even really like a care of like, oh my God, how could you ever? It's just like, bro, you gotta take care of yourself. And they're gonna tell you what you want, what you already know. You gotta have the balance. You gotta whatever this and that. It's really on you. And it truly that's not even a hot take. It's truly on you. Keep a good work life balance. Don't overwork yourself. Don't overdo yourself. Like I understand that everybody got goals and responsibilities and things they want to do in this life and things that they think they should be getting done and they think that they know themselves, but they really don't really know themselves and they don't know themselves as well as they thought they do. Keep the balance. Don't overdo it. Don't overdo it. Like I'm not saying don't put the work in because you need to put the work in, but don't overdo it to the point where you just like you can't even stay awake because you just you sitting there just at work just fighting demons trying to stay awake just like bro you get it together. Get it together. Like you need to do at least a little bit better. Yeah, like just take care of yourselves, and work as much as you really can, though, but like not to you know what I'm saying. Anyway, take less money for better work life balance. All right, that is to me not a crazy question to ask, and I think that it's a valid question to low key ask as well. Um, I think, and this is me personally. Personally, I think that anybody that takes less money for better work life, or I only say work life balance, I'll say better work life because I'll answer. I would say both. I'm gonna look at both sides. I'm gonna look at both sides. So taking less money for a better work life um, balance, that to me, it depends on what that balance is needed from. If you're taking less money to see your kids more, I'm all supportive of it. If you're taking more for family, I think family is the only thing that you should be taking time away from work to balance it. And and this is going to sound crude. This is definitely going to sound crude, but you should never do it for a relationship until it's serious. Like, if we're doing this for a boyfriend or a girlfriend, don't do it. Personally, don't. If we're doing it for a wife or husband, that's valid. That's understandable because y'all are building a future. Your time matters a little bit differently, and it's it's y'all locked in. Y'all twins in them. Like y'all see me, y'all see her type time, or him and him, her and her. We 2025. You know, so it's definitely it depends on what the balance is for. I think that if it's for you to do a lot of other things, I think it's just it is irrelevant. If you're making more time so you can have more free time, bro, there's ways to get around that. Like, I know your life is not that busy. Like, your work can't be 100 hours a week. Like, it can't be. Now, if it is, yeah, bro, take that balance down. Take that. You don't need to be working 100 hours a week every week. That's crazy. That's a dog mentality. Like, you getting that working. You making that clock work for you. But if you doing this for years in and out, that's not a life worth living, bro. You gotta at least slow down and enjoy something. Um, but if we talking about like a normal work week where we talking about like 60 hours a week, bro, you good. Get that grinding. You get that grind and do what you gotta do. If you like start your own stuff so you don't gotta work as much. Like, you working more, make it work for you as well. Like, do what you gotta do to make that extra money so you can start making extra money on top of what you got going on, because there are ways to do it. So like, if you talking about I need less time and I'm working 60 hours a week to go to the gym, no, you don't want it that bad. You don't want to go to the gym that bad. You don't want to do it that bad. Oh, I need to go to the I need I I need to work less so I can relax more. What you relaxing for, bro? What you relaxing for? There's nothing to relax for. You know what I'm saying? Like, you working 60 hours a week, bro. Get that bag, get that grinding, make your money, bro. Do what you got to do. Put your fam like get your if your family not out of poverty, if your family not out of financial, like to the point where it's financial freedom, if you don't got money on autopilot coming in, bro, nah, bro, 60 hours ain't enough, bro. You can work the 60 hours. Figure it out from around there. And like I said, unless it's family orientated where you need that balance where it's like the kids is going on crazy, or you need to see the kids more, or you need to see your wife or husband more, or you need to see your parents more, or take care of somebody that is a family member of yours, all right, that's valid. But if it's not for family, what are we doing? What are we doing? It don't make sense to me. Um, but if we're talking about like, and I'm now about to play the other side of the card and asking the second question, any less like taking money for a better work environment, I will always support a better work environment. I think that money does not mean everything, but if you want to go somewhere else and make less money just so that you can have a happier day at work, do it. Do it. Do it. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be there for 40 to 60 hours a week. Why not enjoy that part? You're literally going to put yourself on autopilot in your life, and that sucks like shit. It does. So make it last. Make it work. Make it be something. Like make it be enjoyable. Like don't just be out here just like working a job for the money and then you hate being there because at a certain point you're gonna hate yourself. You're gonna hate your life. You're gonna be depressed. It's gonna carry over to not just when you're at work to when you're off work. Because when you're off work, all you're thinking about is when you're going back to work because you hate work so much. Like get it together, bro. Like know what you like I said, know where you're going about it. Or not know where you're going about it. Know what really matters in life. Because there's only so many things in this world and in this life that really matter in the grand scheme of things. And that's your time, because that's the one thing in this world we can't get back. And the second thing is your family. Because your family is the only people that share something that nobody else in this world can say that they share with you, that cannot be replaced, that I can be changed, none of that. And that's the blood in y'all DNA. Those are the two things that should be matter more than anything else. Because at the end of the day, you can't get a new mom, you can't get a new dad, you can't get a I mean, you can get a new sister or a new brother. But if y'all really was locked in like that, you're not gonna get that. Like you're not gonna get the brother that was older than you. You're not gonna get another older brother. You're not gonna get that year younger sister than you, or whatever. You're not gonna get those back or those people back, and you're not gonna get a new aunt. If you do, that's a Medea movie. Like you know what I'm saying, they be grandma be getting jiggy with it at an old age, still getting on and popping. So yes and no. So it depends. But like for the real reality of it is you're not gonna get those certain type of family members back. So like those two should be mattering more than anything else. Like, and not to say that they should matter more than everything in this world, but they should be mattering more than a lot of things. They should be the most important things to every person. Because when you die, you can't take the money with you. You can't take the material with you. You can't take anything with you besides what you have on you and what you did and the legacy that you left. That's it. That's all you can take with you. And you can't stuff it up with money. You can't stuff the casket up. Because when you do, that's when they start to dig it up. If you haven't seen, they still looking for the Egyptians for their money. All that gold and silver that they did and left with the kings. Like, come on, bro. Like as I said, like, be happy in your life, but understand what really matters to win. To what, be happy with your life, but remember what really matters at the end of yours. All right, so let's look at another little work hot take. You know what I'm saying, or a little, you know what I'm saying, like a little work stuff. All right, how do you guys cope with working 8 hour shifts almost every day? How do you handle the burnout, bro? You're not working hard enough. You don't want it enough. You don't have a why. That's why. You don't have a true why. How do you cope with working 8 hour shifts almost every day? Bro, you don't have a reason why to work there. That's the truth. Because when you have a reason to do something, bro, nothing else matters. No cap, nothing else matters. Like, it's a certain level of drive or want that people have when you really want something. Because it's going to get done no matter what. And 8 hours not even that crazy. He talking about I can barely handle 3 to 4 days a week, bro. You don't want it bad enough. You don't want to be something bad enough. You rather be a bum for real. And I'm sorry to say that. I'm sorry to say that because I don't know you personally, but you don't want to be something in this world. Because 8 hours is not even bad, bro. People be working 12-hour shifts on them 3 to 4 day shifts. Look at them nurses. I didn't see people. Fuck people. I didn't work myself 24 hours. Didn't work the 7 to 3 shift. After that 7 to 3 shift, went to a serving job. I worked there 4 to 10:30 or 4 to 11:30 or whatever it was. And after that, I went to my overnight job. Told them I was gonna be a little bit late. Worked from 11 to 7. Granted, did take a nap before the little service shift, but it was like a 20-minute jump because I still had to drive to that job. And then even when I was overnight, I may have fell asleep for a couple of minutes. I ain't finna lie to you. I ain't even going to cap or act like I didn't, but I still got the job done. And I ain't get off until when? 7 o'clock in the morning. And when did I start? 7 o'clock the day before. Why? Because I wanted it. Why? Because my son needed to do something. My son needed shoes. My son needed a blanket. Like, you don't got a why, bro. You don't have one. And that's the thing. And for real, like, even if you don't got kids, you don't got somebody that rely on you, do it for you. Do it for you. Or do it for that parent that, like, they gonna need you. Like, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of people that rely on their parents. But guess what? Your parents going to eventually need to rely on you. And when they rely on you, what you going to do then? You going to crumble and fold? Like, because at that point, you want to sink, you want to sink or swim like that. You in that point at that stage. Old people get old, and when they get old, they lose their mind. They don't care. They don't got the same energy. They ain't got that in them no more to take care of no grown ass man or woman, and they looking for you to take care of them because they can't take care of themselves. Cause now they wearing diapers, shitting on themselves. Like, and you talking about some guy old $20 when they shitting on themselves. Get the fuck up, bro. Come on. Like I said, like, bro, you don't want it hard. You don't want it enough. Cause 8 hours ain't that bad for real. Cause of how American workman rights are, you get a 30-minute break and a 15-minute break as well. I think 2 15-minute breaks with an 8 hour shift. So you really only working 7 hours. Now 30 minute breaks ain't shit. Not even finna lie to you. 30-minute breaks are not shit. Them bitches. Because first of all, it take 5 minutes or so to get to wherever you going if you leave the job. And that's not even gonna that's not even taking account for how much it take for you to get the food ready, what you about to eat. If you are about to eat something, like 30 minutes ain't nothing. 30 minutes ain't nothing. 30 minutes is one of them joints where you clock out once you get set up. Don't do that, but do that. Like, don't do that, but do that. Like, so I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, like, bro, you just don't like. And even with that, then maybe you need to switch jobs. This is what I talked about earlier with the job hopping. This is where one of them joints where it's like you probably try and grind it out at Wild making the sandwiches when you really just a stocking bull. Put your headphone in and you just stock. You be off in your own world. Or you a cart bull out front. You like to be in the heat. Or you're a fucking construction worker where you just like to hold the sign. And just flip that slow stop. Like, you need something. And whatever you doing ain't it. You gotta figure it out, bro. But you gotta want it, bro. You gotta get a why. You gotta get a reason, a motivation to, all right, I'm gonna get up every day and do what I gotta do just so I can get it done. Like, I'm not, bro. Cause that's bum behavior right there. That is BUM. Bum behavior. And I you gotta do better. Next one. All right. Oh wait, hold on. Have you ever taken us. Whoa. During. Oh, okay. So have you ever taken a sabbatical or hiatus from a job? Not working and not looking to work for some months during mid career interval. If so, what the intentional time away from work teach you? All right. So what they talking about is definitely something that like I will say that like I've heard about from people. I have not been old enough to experience that. But I think it's definitely needed. I think that if you are in a finance, and this is also something as well. It depends on where you are in your career and your life. If you are with 5 cents in your bank account, you don't need to be taking a hiatus. You don't need a sabbatical. You don't even need to be taking a day off. You need to be keeping all the PTO there and letting that shit stack. You don't even need to be out the crib. You don't need to be nowhere but at work clocking in. That's it. That's all you need. You need to be taking all the extra shifts with 5 cents. So, but if we talking about where you got a good amount saved, you 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 leave the job itself, not like fired from a job or this and that, but you take time off from working at 60 hours. We were talking about in one of the earlier topics, um, and you just kind of be with yourself basically. I think that that is definitely something that like is definitely well needed or wanted. I know that there going to be probably a period in time in my life where I'll take that, and I can't wait for it honestly, um, because it allows in my mind and what I'm thinking that it does is it allows you to learn yourself and regather yourself of what is important in this world and in this lifetime. Because I think that a lot of times as people, we get so caught up on all these bills and responsibilities that we have to do and take care of that we forget what really matters in this world. So that sabbatical gives you that chance to be like, yo, okay, and you learn yourself. You learn the different hobbies that you have. You learn different things that you like and enjoy. Like, damn, I didn't know I liked the golf. Damn, I didn't know I liked the roller skate. I didn't know I was a good bowler. I didn't know that I could be in this great of shape and it was so easy for me. I didn't know I could start this business. I didn't know that I could do these things because you're so busy adulting and trying to work and take care of everything that needs to get taken care of that you don't get that time to breathe. And then when you do, I think that it helps a lot of people. Because, like I said, I think that a lot of times, once we turn at 21 years old or however old you are, when you start adulting, you won't go and you try and get it. You try and do what you can. That like sometimes we forget what really matters. We forget all the stuff that goes on. We forget to be ourselves. And that's the one thing that all of us was told, or at least I'm not gonna say all of us. I can't speak for everybody. But one thing that I knew that was said to me is like enjoy when you're a kid. You don't got responsibilities. You don't got stuff because you could always take that time to breathe and be cool. When you're adults and you don't really got the time to breathe because you got bills, you got issues, you got things to take care of. So if you can finally get to a place where you could take a sabbatical or a hiatus, it's like I remember what it's like to be at peace, basically. I remember what it's like to be okay, to actually smell the flowers, to enjoy life for more than just a paycheck, for more than just what's going on and running amok, basically. I mean, it takes time and it takes a certain level of financial means and stuff to take this hiatus and sabbatical, but I think that it definitely is needed when you get to a certain point to to stop you from burning out and overdoing it. Especially if it's one of those things where like the stars align and it's just like that time for you to take a hiatus. I've I've never truly I've taken one quote unquote hiatus. Not really a hiatus though. Like I want to say that like I stopped working. I want to say like 3 or 4 weeks before my son was born. And that was like a hiatus because like I was just working 2 3 jobs at the time. Was it two? It was 2 jobs at the time. I was working 2 jobs at the time. Before that, for like the last year or so, I worked like every day. I would say 6 to 7 days a week. Realistically, it was 7 days a week. So I worked 7 days a week with a second job. So when my son was being about to be born, now was I in a financial standard to be like, oh yeah, ball out, baby? No, I was still broke as a motherfucker. I ain't even gonna lie to you. But I had enough for at least to me to cover everything I had going on. So and enjoy this last moment of not being a complete father, basically. Um, and taking this time to really regroup and gather and get myself ready for being a father and having that newborn in the house. Um, and I enjoyed it, and I would say that it definitely did help me prepare mentally to be a father. I think that that helped me a lot with what was going on in my life. So like I said, I haven't been to the point where I could take months off sabbatical, but I took a couple weeks off before I became a dad, and it helped me a lot mentally. And that's why I said for me to the point where we're talking about sabbatical or a hiatus in a certain period of time in life when you're in your certain period of career, for you to take it for months, it regroups you. You're at a certain level of peace. You start to understand what really matters. You're no longer just rushing, trying to do everything. You're just breathing and getting yourself regrouped. And I think that's definitely needed in this lifetime or in this world. Um, but yeah. Let's see. Um, there was a curse. How can you? How do you live with a toxic job you can't afford to quit? How can I hand? How do people? Damn. Why everybody hate their job? Jesus. How do people work a 9 to 5 go? How do people work in a 9 to 5 go without ending it all? Damn, bro. Get a different career. I'm mentally cannot handle my job anymore, but I can't leave. I get that. I get that, but damn. Like, how to live a happy life with a 40 plus hour work week? How do you detach from work, which has caused quite a lot of stress and has kept you thinking about it from time to time? I want to talk about this. I love like how do you detach from work, which has caused quite a lot of stress and has kept you thinking about it from time to time. I think that the best way to kind of detach from work is to get a hobby, a mind numbing hobby where like you're so focused about this hobby or what you're doing, nothing else in the world matters. Like nothing. Like and it sounds crazy enough, but there is things that people do. Like there's painters out there. Like people paint and they fuck the world. They just focused on the paintbrush and the strokes and all that stuff, and things stop mattering. There's certain people where they play a sport. Mine used to be basketball. You know, get them buckets, baby. Get them buckets. Get them buckets. Nothing mattered to me when I was out on that court. It was just the ball in the basket. That's all that mattered. That's all I cared about. All I cared about was seeing that fillet, that chill out, bull. Get up. Like that's all I cared about. Nothing else in life mattered except for that moment. So you gotta find that hobby that makes you enjoy that moment, whether it's going golfing. And this is why I said when it comes to before of the hiatus, like this is what the hiatus is going to help you with. It's going to teach you about yourself and what you enjoy and hobbies and things that you like that you wouldn't before and that you wouldn't think about because you're on the go. And there's a lot of stressful jobs out there. I'm not going to lie to you that I don't work at and I don't have true experience, but I can only imagine how stressful that it really could be. Like imagine being a lawyer, imagine being a nurse, imagine being a doctor. Like I could imagine being really in a hospital and you just saw you 4 people died this week. You had a conversation with 4 people last week that died this week. You had to tell a family that they just died. And we give cops a lot of shit. We give cops and law enforcement and a lot of shit, but like imagine having to tell a parent that their daughter got raped and died or SA'd. That's a lot. That's a lot to take. That's a lot to talk about or go about and having to tell somebody. That's a hard subject, and that's a lot, and that could keep somebody up at night. Like we all seen SVU Benson be having trouble sleeping at night because it's certain stuff it stick with you once you leave the job. Still, like it's a hard job, so like that's where the hobbies need to come in at, and the hobbies need to be revolving around these couple things: your mental, your physical, your spiritual. If you can find a hobby that does those 3 things, you're you will start to improve and feel better when you go to work and when you leave to work because you're no longer worried about, damn, when's the next time I gotta go to the job? You start being like, damn, I can't wait to go to do this. I can't wait until, like, and that's where the shift and the change of mentality will happen and that it'll get better for you. Um, and I'm gonna probably do one more. I'm gonna do one more because I kind of like this. How do you all working people make your life feel less stressed and more cheerful? How we feel for those working for. If a guy doesn't ask you about your career school, okay. Hot take. There's nothing wrong with wearing lifts. Okay. How do you maintain a healthy work balance from burnout, unpublic plan? Hot take. Hot take. But a lot of you need to accept being alone. Okay. It's just about what people think of me at work, and it's all right. So this is a good way to end it or start it, or this is a good one to end on. Stressed about what people think of me at work. Fuck them. No, but seriously though, it depends on who it is. Like if it's your boss, you should definitely care. And it depends on why your boss does not like you. Oh, wait, so it's just about what people think of me at work. Um, nah, don't stress about what people think of you at work. In the sense that you aren't as long as you're getting respected and you're a good employee and you do good work, people are going to like you at work. As long as you don't bother somebody. Because you're at work. You're not there, like people are not going to work expecting to make friends and be best buds or whatever. They're expecting that people are not going to make their lives miserable while they're there and not make their job more difficult than it has to be. If you can do those 2 things while you're at work, you're good, baby. You're good. Like that's it. And don't stress out about yourself. Just be nice to people. Be helpful if you can be. Try. Like if you are helpful and nice and try for majority of jobs, it works itself out. Again, there are circumstances where it won't because I ain't talking about doctors. I ain't talking about like lawyers. I ain't talking about like police. Sort of kind of police because it's like There be people that are trying, but they be making mistakes. It's just like if we're not talking about like life or death situations or jail or no jail situations, like yeah, bro, just you're cooling. You work at an office job, bro. Don't worry about it. Just be nice and don't cause more people stress. You work at a gym. You work at a store. You work. I'm trying to think of other jobs. You work at a restaurant. Like you work at any type of those. You work at a hotel. Shoot, you work at a museum. Like just be nice to people. Try and come in with a good attitude. Like, bro, it'll go a long way. Don't make anybody else's job that much more difficult. For real. It's not that hard. It really ain't. It really ain't that difficult. Um, but this is the last one. I'm gonna end right here. Um, more streams to come. I'm figuring it out day by day. It's gonna get better each time. Stay with me. Stay blessed. Stay positive. Stay beautiful. Delise. Deuces.